from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
It was really a difficult decision, and I think part of it was, even though we had time to prepare, we had 2 years. We had 2 years to prepare for this moment, and we didn't.
As our loved ones age and near the end of their lives, it's often an emotional, heart-wrenching time. That's why one local woman is urging you to have plans in place to ease the burden. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bradford Eric. Krista Bain has the weekend off. Today marks National Healthcare Decision Day, a day that encourages your family to lay out your end-of-life wishes. Valley News Team's Giovanna Simic speaks with a woman who had to make these tough decisions as her mother's condition only got worse.
When you're faced at that moment where your loved one has a major health event, do you really know what they want?
Karen Robinson faced a major decision when her mom put her in charge of her health. But she says planning ahead made the decision easier.
I felt almost a sense of relief that they had spelled out what their wishes were to be in their final days.
People gathered to discuss the importance of having an advanced care plan, a plan that has your wishes if you are unable to make healthcare choices, like when to be taken off of life support.
People tend to think it's only for individuals who are at the end of life or who have terminal conditions, but the reality is something can happen to any one of us at any point, and we may lose the ability to speak for ourselves.
The best time to make this decision is when you are healthy. Speaking about it with family members and writing a healthcare directive may be hard now, but knowing your loved one's healthcare decision beforehand makes your job easier.
I was very familiar with what she wanted, plus she had a document, the healthcare directive, that explained.
Bringing up the topic may be tough, but in the end, it's worth it.
The conversation is the most important thing of all, because even if I never got to the point of having a written directive, if my family understands my values and preferences, when decisions need to be made, they won't struggle so much at the bedside.
If you have that directive, if you've had those crucial conversations, emphasis on conversations, then it takes so much off your shoulders, and it really, you're carrying out what your loved one wanted.
Because knowing you're prepared before a crisis happens can bring peace of mind. In Fargo, Giovanna Simic, Valley News Live.
Health experts recommend that you notify your physician of your advanced care plan. For more information, go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Police are asking for your help in finding a missing teenager last seen in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Mandan police are looking for 15-year-old Trey Cadote. They say Cadote was last seen in the FM area this week. He is described as a white male standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, about 110 pounds, and has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information, Mandan police ask you to call 701-667-3250. Police say a drunk man was found inside Shields Home and Hardware in Fargo early Saturday after he tripped an alarm. Fargo police report finding 25-year-old Richard Boyd inside the store on 13th Avenue South at about 4 a.m. They did not find evidence Boyd broke into the store and say he might have gotten in through an unlocked door. But it was when he walked in that he set off the alarm. Boyd remains in the Cass County Jail. Hawley fire crews were called out for another grass fire today as the dry conditions and winds are making flames spread easily. The Hawley Fire Department says the call came in just before 3 p.m. that a controlled burn along 248th Street North got out of control and jumped the Buffalo River. This is the second day in a row and at least the third time this week they were called out for grass fires. It looked like the calm before the storm in Lindenwood Park this afternoon. People were taking in every last bit of sunshine. But are things changing, and is there rain coming? Let's find out from Storm Team meteorologist Justin Fanfarilli. Justin?
And thank you, Bradford, and good evening, everybody. Yes, things are definitely changing. Taking a look at temperatures off to our south and to our east. Very warm out there. 75 Marshall, Minnesota, 73 Alexandria, and off to the west at Bismarck, 36. Devil's Lake also at 36. We saw the temperature drop from 67 degrees right now in Fargo to where it is at 53 because of a rain shower that moved its way through. The rain was moderate to heavy at times, especially as you made your way into portions of West Fargo. Now getting north of the area, approaching Harwood, and you're seeing these rain showers, not seeing any lightning with it, still stretching back up as you make your way off north just to the west of the Grand Forks area. And we are actually seeing air cool enough. You might see some snowflakes as you make your way just to the south of the Langdon area. Well, as we go through the rest of this evening, cloudy skies will be the story. We're going to see that wind from the northwest, and it will be breezy at times with scattered showers staying with us as we go through the evening and through the overnight period. And we have that chance of showers as we go through the next couple of days. And I'll tell you about that coming up in full weather later in the newscast.
All right, thank you, Justin. At least it's not snowing out here. You folks may have noticed gas prices slowly ticking up, and the average price in North Dakota is now more than $2. According to the AAA fuel gauge report, the last time North Dakotans paid more than $2 a gallon was in December of 2015. North Dakota is still below the national average by about 10 cents. AAA says gas prices will likely continue to rise ahead of the busy travel season. The North Dakota Department of Mineral Resources released its February report on oil and gas numbers, and the news isn't good. Oil production decreased by 4,000 barrels a day, while gas production peaked at an all-time high. Despite the decline in oil production, North Dakota is still pumping 1.1 million barrels a day. Now, that may seem like a lot, but to put that into perspective, it was at its highest in December of 2014. Rig count is currently at 29. The last time rigs dropped this low was October of 2005. It could cost millions of dollars to make the changes this year to upgrade Minnesota driver's licenses to meet federal standards. According to a new report from the Department of Safety, there are other concerns as well. We've told you in the past that if Minnesota doesn't get up to code with the enhanced driver's licenses, people may not be able to use what's issued for travel. John Croman explains how this is going to impact millions of Minnesotans.
The hope is that they would take that into consideration and potentially grant that extension.
DPS Commissioner Mona Doman told lawmakers the startup cost for the Real ID compliant driver's license system would be up to $5 million depending on when it happens. One lawmaker wants it to be rolling by October.
To be fair to our citizens in our state, we need to give assurances that they will be able to continue to fly commercially, and that is the best route in order for that to happen.
Many of the questions at today's hearing concern privacy and whether personal data will be shared with other states.
We don't share data. We simply provide data and get a message back if that data is appropriate, accurate, or if there's any issues with that.
Now, Minnesota may continue to issue regular driver's licenses after Real ID, but they'd be stamped not for federal purposes.
This thing used to just be a piece of paper without even a picture on it. It never really was an ID. It was just a paper that says, hey, you passed the driver's test. Lucky you.
Some still bristle at the thought of a federal mandate to get through airport security.
This is a threat. A government-to-government threat.
Others just want to ensure your experience at the customer service level when you get your license won't be more expensive or more complicated.
So what I hear my neighbors want is the assurance that they can use their driver's license to get on an airplane, in many ways, more importantly, get on a military base to see their kids.
Until 2 weeks ago, the people at DPS couldn't even study how to make Minnesota's driver's license system comply with Real ID because they were barred by law. Lawmakers changed that, which is why this report could be issued. But contained in it are a laundry list of state laws and DPS rules that need changed to make Real ID compliance happen. According to the Better Business Bureau, in 2015, identity theft complaints were the second most reported issue, and it's an issue that could affect you too. The BBB and AARP hosted an event today in Fargo to help people protect their identity. At the Secure Your ID Day, people and business owners had a chance to get rid of their personal documents safely. People brought in bags and boxes of important documents and filed over 100 containers. Those were later taken to be shredded safely and securely. The BBB also provided tips and fact sheets on how you can avoid identity theft. 2 more Secure Your ID Day events will be held in Dickinson and Grand Forks on June 11th. Prom can be a stressful time with preparation starting months in advance. Hope Page High School's prom is tonight, and Kayla Heim is getting ready for it. From making sure each curl is just right to picking out the perfect shade of red lipstick, those are small decisions in comparison to what other girls her age are doing.
There's a couple people that I know though that do like the whole package for like, they get spray tans, they whiten their teeth, they dye their hair, and like everything, and I can't even imagine how much that would all add up to.
Tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10, the Valley News team speaks with Kayla Heim and her mother, Rachel, about prepping for prom and how they've tried to stay grounded. Speaking of prom, MSUM, NDSU, and Bemidji State University women's rugby were dressed to the nines for their annual prom dress tournament. Out of 3 games, MSUM came out on top in the finals against NDSU with the winning score. NDSU took second place as well as taking home the trophy for best dressed team, leaving VSU in third. The tournament was able to donate 4 prom dresses to CCRI for their prom in Fargo-Moorhead. Later on Valley News Live at 6, cadets at NDSU celebrate a program's 100th anniversary.
And we saw temperatures hit 69 degrees in Fargo today, but they've been on the downward trend in the last half hour because some rain is overspreading the valley. We'll check in on that coming up for full weather next.
You're watching Valley News.